Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to focus on James Clapper's book, Fact and Fears. So the funny thing is that last week I was reading this book and it has a whole chapter dedicated to North Korea and James Clapper's time working there. When, at least for me, this is a historic event. Kim Jung-un travels to Russia. North Korea is going to be Russia's dodgy little friend, the one hidden in the back that no one wants to be friends with. Literally, it's called the Hermit Kingdom. It's the country probably with the most economic sanctions. I'm not sure. They're competing there with Iran. The thing is that North Korea doesn't have too many friends, so this opening with Russia is a big deal. And when reading this chapter from James Clapper's book, I couldn't help feel that the whole situation with the United States and North Korea has been a total and utter failure. So it's pretty fascinating to see James Clapper's view on the specific subject. He had served in South Korea and actually was part of a major incident that took place at the DMZ when he was on a military helicopter that accidentally flew into North Korean airspace. They were almost shot down by the North Koreans and by the South Koreans due to the confusion of everything that was going down. Again, I recommend you guys read this book. It's really fascinating. Now, while working as an intelligence officer in South Korea, he was tasked in trying to see if he could predict if ever North Korea was going to make the move and try to attack the South. If ever the conflict would be reignited, would it be something planned or not? The author actually concludes that he doesn't think that it would be something premeditated, but most likely due to the fact that there's an accident at the DMZ and things just escalate very quickly. He uses the example of Operation Paul Bunyan, where things go from bad to worse very, very quickly. And we're going to cover this specific operation on this channel because it's fascinating. And again, from his own personal experience after almost being shot down from the sky. But basically, something like a mistake or a miscommunication or a misunderstanding can go bad very quickly and have this cascading effect. And we have this major issue where North Korea has everything put on a hair trigger. They're ready to go at a moment's notice. They are tremendously paranoid and have been indoctrinated to think that the US will attack at any moment. The basic idea that Clapper tries to convey is that they don't want to go back to war, but they're ready. And he expresses that US foreign policy has to understand this, that there's very small room for error. Then Clapper gets into a disclaimer telling the reader that intelligence officers must never get into policy making. That's not their job. That their job is to inform the policymakers so they can take the best decisions possible. Their main job is basically to reduce levels of uncertainty. Clapper actually uses a pretty funny term and says that people in intelligence should not be participating in the making of the policy sausage. But the idea is that once they inform the policymakers, they can take the best decisions possible, be it at the negotiating table or on the battlefield. Then James Clapper gets into his time when he was DNI, Director of National Intelligence, during the Obama government. And he explains that he never crossed this line in trying to influence policy in any way, except on one issue, North Korea. And he explains, not on an official level, but on a personal level, he told Obama that he thought that the policy towards North Korea was all wrong, that isolating North Korea just doesn't work, and that the United States should be engaging with the North Korean government. All that this policy does is basically feed into the siege mentality that they have in North Korea. And in a weird and very interesting way, this policy actually helps prop up and maintains the political elite that North Korea has. They feed off this. And on the other hand, Clapper explains that even though we can't confirm if they have nuclear weapons, we know that they're nuclearly capable. That the United States should find some type of minimal common ground with North Korea, use its immense soft power to erode away against North Koreans' political elites. somehow open a flow of information that goes directly to the people of North Korea so they can see that the United States does not want to bomb the hell out of them. James Clapper actually recommends the creation or the opening of a U.S. cultural office in Pyongyang, and that the North Koreans can make the same office in New York City wherever they want. The idea is to have this reciprocal measure, but obviously this never happened. Now, this book was published right around the halfway mark of Donald Trump's government, and Clapper does mention that even though he didn't like what Obama did during his term with North Korea, he saw that Trump did try to take some positive steps. His unorthodox style sort of opened a small channel of dialogue that didn't last too long. Nothing really happened, but it was a good start. And with Joe Biden, basically they went back to the traditional stance. And now we're at the situation that we have today, where we have Putin forging an alliance with North Korea. Again, at least from my point of view, I feel like this is a total failure of U.S. foreign policy. So I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.